Hi, my name is Matthew Belisario. Thank you for coming by the Belisario Sonic YouTube channel. As always, coming to you from the heart of the Deep South on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. We're talking about music and records. Most of all, we're doing extraordinary record reviews for you extraordinary listeners out there, and I've got a great one for you guys today that I'm going to review. Going to talk briefly about Record Store Day, talk about why records like this are ahead of my purchases for Record Store Day, and I'll explain to you why. Before I get to that, click on the link below for Belisario Sonic Arts. You'll be able to go there and purchase imported audiophile records from Bird Box Records out of Italy, jazz records and classical records. So if you haven't checked those out, go and check those out. I think you're going to really dig those quality records. Today, Makoto Ozone, an album I purchased in Tokyo, Japan, a 2 LP set, Makoto Ozone, No Name Horses, Day 1, celebrating 20 years of this big band. Now, for those of you that aren't big band fans, don't run away yet, because this is a really cool record. I would say it does have those classic elements of that Basie Ellington stuff going on, but there's also a lot of cool dynamics, rhythm changes, a lot of different things on this album that keep you engaged throughout both records, all four sides. Now, Record Store Day is coming up. We've all got our lists, the things that we want. When it comes to jazz, of course, almost everything I'm buying these days is jazz. So when it comes to Record Store Day, and I've talked about this before, and this is not a bash on Record Store Day or anything like that, but for me, when it comes to purchasing records, it becomes more and more fun, more engaging to collect records that are being made today by working artists. And of course, you guys who have been following the channel know that that's kind of the direction that I've been taking over the last couple of years, especially focusing on working jazz artists. This is no exception. Makoto Ozone, one of the most famous Japanese pianists, jazz pianists, also plays classical. This album here features also 15 members. Wonderful. Just what I would say is high in virtuosity, all these players on this, all the musicians on this album. So to me, what makes this interesting when it comes to the archival releases, the Record Store Day releases, those are all archival releases that are of artists that have been around for a long time. Most of them are dead. It's kind of cool that they dig up live recordings that have never been heard before, but at the end of the day, once you've got 50 Bill Evans records and you've got all these live recordings, some of the stuff becomes redundant, and it becomes less of a priority for me to be collecting those when I can be collecting a wonderful album like this of new compositions, engaging musicians on this. To me, this record contains all the elements that will make a record a great listening experience. You've got great compositions that all the band members contribute to on this. You've got wonderful arrangements with really cool instrumental lineup, if you will. I'm going to show you that in a moment. The musicians who are on here, one of them is Shotaro Matsui, who I've featured on this channel. I've done 3 different reviews of him. He's a wonderful trumpet and flugelhorn player. So for those of you guys that have been following the channel, you know about him. But all the musicians on here they're all virtuosos of the instrument. You don't get to play in a band like this unless you can play well. Not just mechanically playing the instrument well, but also musically. So this album here is 2 records. Now let's talk briefly about Makoto Ozone before we dive into the record and I play some tracks for you guys. Going back to the Record Store Day thing, those archival releases, while they're intriguing, aren't enough for me to be able to go stand in line and buy those or put them at the top of my purchasing list. So records like this are coming ahead of those, and therefore I probably won't be picking up very few, if any, of those jazz titles from Record Store Day, because there's so many records like this out there that are fantastic. And I love new compositions. Let's take a look at the instrumental lineup here. So that is from the insert here, which I'll show you in a moment. But take a look at the instruments on here. Of course, you've got Makoto playing the piano in the Hammond B3. You've got some excellent trumpet player, flugelhorn players on here for them, 2 trombone players, a bass trombone player, several saxophone players, alto, sopranos, tenor, baritone. You've got a wonderful bass player on here, Shinpei Ogawa on the bass, and then you've got a wonderful drummer here. But all the musicians on here are fantastic, and you can see there that it's a really 15. There's a 15-piece lineup, so there's a lot of depth. But what also makes this a great release is the sound quality of this album. It sounds fantastic. So I was listening to this in my car over the last few days because I like to absorb this album, and I had not had a chance still to drop it on the turntable except for earlier today. And so I listened to it driving around in my car, and it sounded good, but the drums in my car, the drums sounded kind of not very resonant. When I put this record on, I was blown away. Everything sounds fantastic on here. The drums are really nice sounding. You're going to hear it for yourself. So let's talk briefly about what intrigues me also about Makoto Ozone as a musician. One, he was self-taught largely. He started playing piano around the age of 2 or 3, and organ. And his dad was a big band, a jazz pianist playing swing jazz. And he didn't start focusing on jazz music until he was around 12 years old when he heard Oscar Peterson play. And so Makoto's interesting to me because he's self-taught starting out, but then he goes to Berklee College of Music. He majors in composition and arrangement, jazz composition and arrangement. So he has the best of both worlds, if you will. And when you watch his interviews on YouTube, you really get the sense that he's a very musical guy. He's got a good ear, but he also has the theory and everything down. But what makes him really cool is the theory is something great to know, but musically, Makoto is just an incredible musician, incredible composer, arranger. Now, what I want to do before I drop this on is show you a couple of other Makoto Ozone albums that I have. Also should be something that should be interesting to you is the different players that he's played with, but also he was the first Japanese musician to be signed to CBS, and he had his first solo recital at Carnegie Hall in New York City. But what's really cool, he's played with all these different musicians, so he has an extensive catalog. He's played with Chick Corea, of course. I think they had a couple of records they did together. He's played with Arturo Sandoval, Branford Marsalis. This record here I would recommend getting your hands on. This one's called The Night in Tokyo, and you've got Branford Marsalis on here, Jeff Tain Watts, Christian McBride. Definitely recommend getting your hands on this. This is a live record. It sounds fantastic. On CD, one of his other trio, a couple more of his trio records. This one just called The Trio is fantastic. If you can find these on CD, pick them up. They can be quite expensive. I picked these up when I was in Tokyo. I like this Trifinity album here. Also wonderful. Pandora, The Trio, another wonderful album. No Name Horses, I've got 2 other ones on CD. This one I picked up in Tokyo, and it's autographed here. That's kind of cool. And then I've got this Back at the Club in tribute, Makoto Ozone and No Name Horses. This is another wonderful record. So if you still collect CDs, those I recommend going out and getting. Let's go ahead and dive into this record, and let's have you hear for yourself how wonderful this sounds. All right, let's go ahead and let me show you a little closer look there at the back of the record and the credits there. This was mastered over at Sterling Sound. Greg Calby, I think, mastered this, and again, it sounds wonderful. I'm going to drop this on the Fluence RT85 with the Audiophile Blue. We're going to listen to a tune called Day One. We're going through my Vincent Foe 701 phono stage into my Denon, into my JBLs 4311Bs. Let's go. pipe sticker. Yeah, sounds fantastic. Such a nice big full sound stage. Nice detail. Nice depth. There's your insert. Trumpet sounds wonderful. Tonal balance on this is fantastic. You really hear the lows, the bass, the different instruments, the depth. I love the dynamics, the arrangements, the way different instruments are featured in different places. Still room for some cool improvisation. This is a Universal Japan release, recorded and mixed by Akihiro Nishimura. Mixed at Lab Recorders, sounds fantastic. Nice pressing. Yeah. I'm probably going to play the entire first side for you guys because I love both of these tunes. Drums sound fantastic. resonance off those drums. It sounds fantastic. Such an engaging album. Definitely high on the repeated listenability scale for me. Sounds wonderful too. Yeah. Wonderful. Wow, listen to the resonance. I mean, off the piano, the drums. This is incredible sounding record, audiophile record. Mixed over at Lab Recorders. They did a great job with this, with all these instruments mixing, and the detail you hear, the separation and depth, everything. It's definitely what makes record collecting fun, is when you have this kind of music, the arrangements, the compositions, all these cool instruments, and yet done so well and put on a great pressing. This is, to me, what I'd rather spend my money on these days, is something like this for sure. This one's called My Wiener Schnitzel, and this will complete side A. Then I'm going to flip it over. We'll play one tune off the other side, and then maybe another tune off of the other record. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Leave your comments, give the thumbs up, share this with other people. That's what this channel is all about. I appreciate you guys help spreading the word. I love this tune. I love the dynamics, you know, quieter passages, and then the way it's mixed. You got some instruments over here, some over here. Trumpets are over on this side. Closer look at that lineup again. Great lines on the trumpet. Sounds wonderful. And here you hear the trumpet and bowl speakers here on the solo. Yeah, love that. Also, a little element of classical kind of in there. It's really cool stuff. Listen to that. Yeah. Incredible playing. All that tension and release, the way you arranged everything. Nice. Did a great job on this. Yeah, all these guys can play. Just great players, great virtuosity. All right, let's flip this over. We'll listen to one tune off the other side, and then maybe we'll close out on a tune on the other record. I could play this whole thing for you guys. Again, just a wonderful, engaging 2 LP set here that you're going to listen to over and over again. This one's Moulet's Mariniere. I don't know how you pronounce that. You can see the tracks there. I was talking about record store day earlier, and you know, another big thing with record collectors, this limited edition stuff. But what I find funny is that most of these albums like this, they make a limited run on them, and they usually don't keep them in print. These records from Japan, a lot of them. So, you know, when people talk about limited editions, these are probably more limited than some of the record store day records. And again, in my opinion, far more intriguing and far more will be listened to a lot more than most of my record store day purchases. I've just got too many records like this that I want by working artists for me to really buy too many archival releases these days. Nice. Again, a wide range of music on this 2 LP set, so a lot of different tempo compositions, interesting arrangements, and again, it sounds fantastic. Kick drum when it hits, I mean, this is one of the, with this many pieces being recorded, they've done an amazing job. Shinpei Ogawa on the bass. So you could reach out and touch the instruments. I mean, it's like you're sitting right there in front of them. All right, so after this tune, I'm going to flip the record. Actually, I'm going to put on the second record. And we'll have a listen to, what am I going to pick here? I'll play Deviation for you guys off side C, and we'll close out on that. I appreciate you guys again hanging out with me. Give the thumbs up, share this with other people. I love playing these records for you guys. All right, let's pull this off here. And let's put on the second record here. These do come with the anti-static sleeves. They have paper sleeve with an anti-static sleeve. I'll show you that here in a second, but that's a nice touch. Get this put back in here. The only thing I don't like about them is they're a little hard to get in with the sleeve. You have one sleeve inside the other. All right, so let's put on side C, and we'll close out on this tune here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Another cool tune here. Wonderful composition. We'll close on this one called Deviation. Kind of inner sleeves, so it's inside the paper. So I do like that, but it's a little harder to get them in sometimes. It's a single sleeve, so it's not a gatefold, unfortunately. Both records slide in here with your insert, but I do like the colorful insert with all of the players and everything here. And all the credit information here on the back. Again, great dynamics, great arrangements, a lot of tension and release, places in there for great solos. Nice. Close your eyes and you're there. I appreciate you guys joining me. Got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys, a lot of reviews. Yeah. Everything that makes, for me, a record that I want to have in my collection. Great compositions, wonderful arrangements, great dynamics, virtuosity of the players, and an audiophile record. What more do you want? All right, folks. Day 1, Makoto Ozone. No Name Horses. One you're going to want to add to your collection. All right, folks, happy listening. We'll see you next time.